Hello everyone. I had a quick lunch in one of the Cambodian restaurants inside the Angkor Park. I am now at the Tha Prom temple. Tha Prom, which means ancestor Brahma, is a modern name of this Bayon style temple built in the late 12th and early 13th centuries. Was originally called Rajavihara, meaning royal monastery. It is located 1 kilometer east of Angkor Thom and on the southern bank of East Barai. The conservation and restoration of Tha Prom is a partnership project of Archaeological Survey of India and Apsara, Authority for Protection and Management of Angkor and region of Siem Reap. UNESCO inscribed Tha Prom on the World Heritage List in 1992. Today, it is one of the most visited complexes in Cambodia's Angkor region. Tha Prom is in much the same condition in which it was found. The photogenic and atmospheric combination of trees growing out of the ruins and the jungle surroundings have made it one of Angkor's most popular temples with visitors. This temple became famous after a Hollywood movie Tomb Raiders starring Angelina Jolie was shot here. Jayavarman VII constructed Rajavihara in honor of his family. The temple's main image, representing Prajnaparamita, the personification of wisdom, was modeled on the king's mother. The northern and southern satellite temples in the third enclosure were dedicated to the king's guru, Jayamangalartha, and his elder brother respectively. As such, Tha Prom formed a complementary pair with the temple monastery of Preah Khan, dedicated in 1191 AD. The main image of which represented the Bodhisattva of compassion, Lokeshwara, and was modelled on the king's father. After the fall of Khmer Empire in 15th century, the temple of Tha Prom was abandoned and neglected for centuries. When the effort to conserve and restore the temples of Angkor began in the early 21st century, the École Française d'Extrême Orient decided that the Tha Prom would be left largely as it had been found, as a concession to the general taste for the picturesque. According to pioneer Angkor scholar Maurice Glaise, Tha Prom was singled out because it was one of the most imposing temples and the one which had best emerged with the jungle. Nevertheless, much work has been done to stabilize the ruins, to permit access, and to maintain this condition of apparent neglect. As of 2013, Archaeological Survey of India has restored most parts of the temple complex, some of which have been constructed from scratch. Wooden walkways, platforms, and rope railings have been put in place around the site to protect the monument from further damages due to the large tourist inflow. The trees growing out of the ruins are perhaps the most distinctive feature of Tha Prom and have prompted more writers to descriptive excess than any other feature of Angkor. Tha Prom is a temple of towers, closed courtyards, and narrow corridors. Many of the corridors are impassable, clogged with jumbled piles of delicately carved stone blocks, dislodged by the roots of long decayed trees. Trees hundreds of years old tower overhead, their leaves filtering the sunlight and casting a greenish pall over the whole scene. Bas reliefs on bulging walls are carpeted with lichen, moss, and creeping plants, and shrubs sprout from the roofs of monumental porches. Undoubtedly the most atmospheric ruin at Angkor, Tha Prom should be high on the hit list of every visitor. As I already mentioned, the temple of Tha Prom was used as a location in the film Tomb Raider. Although the film took visual liberties with other Angkorian temples, its scenes of Tha Prom were quite faithful to the temple's actual appearance and made use of its eerie qualities. The so-called Tomb Raider temple, Tha Prom is cloaked in dappled shadow. Its crumbling towers and walls locked in the slow muscular embrace of vast root systems. Its appeal lies in the fact that, unlike other monuments of Angkor, it has been swallowed by the jungle and looks very much the way most of the monuments of Angkor appeared when European explorers first stumbled upon them. Well, that's the theory, but in fact jungle is pegged back and only the largest trees are left in place, making it manicured rather than raw like Beng Melia. Still, a visit to Thaprom is unique, otherworldly experience. One of the most famous spots in Thaprom is the so-called Tomb Raider tree, where Angelina Jolie's Lara Croft picked a jasmine flower before falling through the earth into Pinewood Studio. There is a poetic cycle to this venerable ruin, with humanity first conquering nature to rapidly create, and nature once again conquering humanity to slowly destroy. If Angkor Wat is testimony to the genius of the ancient Khmers, the Thaprom reminds us equally of the awesome fecundity and power of the jungle. Finally, at the end of the day, I have come back to the pioneer temple of Angkor region, the majestic Angkor Wat. The temple complex is surrounded by a 190-meter wide moat forming a 1.5 km by 1.3 km rectangle. From the west, a sandstone causeway crosses the moat. The rectangular outer wall, which measures 1025 meters by 800 meters, has a gate on each side, but the main entrance, a 235-meter wide porch, richly decorated with carvings and sculptures, is on the western side. Originally constructed and dedicated to the Hindu god Vishnu in the early 12th century, it was converted to a Buddhist temple towards the end of the 12th century. Angkor Wat combines two basic plans of Khmer temple architecture, the Temple Mountain and the later Gallery Temple. It is designed to represent Mount Meru, home of the Devas in Hindu and Buddhist cosmology. The avenue is 475 meters long and 9.5 meters wide and lined with Naga balustrades, leading from the main entrance to the central temple, passing between two graceful libraries and then two pools, the northern one a popular spot from which to watch the sunrise. Angkor Wat, built by Suryavarman II during 1112 to 52, is the earthly representation of Mount Meru, the Mount Olympus of the Hindu faith and the abode of ancient gods. The Cambodian god kings of old each strove to better their ancestors' structures in size, scale and symmetry, culminating in what is believed to be the world's largest religious building. Symbolically, west is the direction of death, which once led a large number of scholars to conclude that Angkor Wat must have existed primarily as a tomb. This idea was supported by the fact that the magnificent bas-reliefs of the temple were designed to be viewed in an anti-clockwise direction, a practice that has precedence in ancient Hindu funerary rites. The inner walls of the outer gallery bear a series of large-scale scenes, mainly depicting episodes from the Hindu epics, the Ramayana and Mahabharata. On the eastern gallery is one of the most celebrated scenes, the churning of the Sea of Milk, showing 92 Asuras and 88 Devas using the serpent Vasuki to churn the sea under the Vishnu's direction. In this scene, the Kaurava army advances into the battle of Kurukshetra. This shows King Suryavarman II, the temple's builder, and his army. The stairs to the upper level are immensely steep because reaching the kingdom of gods was no easy task. Also known as Bakan Sanctuary, the upper level of Angkor Wat is open to a limited number per day with a queuing system. This temple is the heart and soul of Cambodia and a source of fierce national pride. Unlike the other Angkor monuments, it was never abandoned to the elements and has been in virtually continuous use since it was built. It has become a symbol of Cambodia, appearing on its national flag. Angkor Wat is famous for having more than 3,000 beguiling apsaras, or heavenly nymphs, carved into its walls. Each of them is unique and there are 37 different hairstyles for budding stylists to check out. Many of these exquisite apsaras were damaged during efforts to clean the temples with chemicals during the 1980s, but they are being restored by the teams with the German Apsara Conservation Project. The sandstone blocks from which Angkor Wat was built were quarried from the holy mountain of Nom Kulen, more than 50 kilometers away, and floated down the Siem Reap River on the rafts. At this second level, one gets a spectacular view of the massif of the central towers rising from the courtyard. Like the other temple mountains of Angkor, Angkor Wat also replicates the spatial universe in miniature. The central tower is Mount Meru, with its surrounding smaller peaks, bounded in turn by continents or the lower courtyards, and the oceans, which is the Mont, the seven-headed Naga or mythical serpent, becomes a symbolic rainbow bridge for humankind to reach the abode of the gods.